Hey, you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the south. And I'm traveling up north at this point, headed out of Louisiana yesterday, kind of making my way up to the northeast. There's something I wanted something I planned to see. So I've got a little bit of a time crunch here as I'm racing towards the northeast. But I was driving through Birmingham today, Birmingham, Alabama, and I did want to stop and see this, the African American village here in Birmingham, Alabama. This is a folk art environment. I stopped here before, but I did want to, it was quite some time ago, and I did want to stop back in and see how things were going here at the African American village. This is the work of a folk artist named Joe Minter, who in 1989 began creating these sculptures and paintings and statements in his yard, and has been continually adding to that work up to this very day. So he was divinely inspired in 1989 to create this, and has based it on African American history here in the United States. Very fascinating sculptures, very amazing artwork here. So I wanted to take a look. So please follow me. Looking at some of the art out here, see a lot of signs, a lot of Bible quotes there. See the mannequin heads and babies there attached to the fence. See all the different sculptures there. Over here they got the different figures in chains up and down there. See all these messages along here. You can see those handcuffs, those shackles there. It says Birmingham jail. See the babies there behind the bars. It says USA repent, save in Jesus our children. It says reparations now. Got an African figure in chains. See like kind of the traditional African mask there. What's this say? Jesus, why slavery? America, African way, God, love, peace. Another baby there clung to the fence. And looking here, you can see it's like a Black Lives Matter section. Different, looks like different police helmets, the NYPD, different pieces of police armor there. See these glass tribal masks there. See the gates over here. It says, the earth is the Lord. Lord have mercy, free us. The end, come to Jesus now. The clothesline there. Different clotheslines, clothespins. You can see some of these striped clothing, I guess like prison clothing that people would wear in prison.
Everything I made all that I put together was right there. In front of that, I built that old garage that I'm sitting. Look at this. All this brick and stuff, all this. On Chevrolet truck. Everything you see my hands on too. That's what I want you. So you get that, take it back to them grandchildren. From all the way around there. Look at all them pit houses up on top of that hill.
Oh yeah.
You really supposed to look down over there. The inside of the earth.
The fleecing of the earth.
See, my last job was over.
Brought me out here to the porch so I could look out onto the African village there. Yeah, look at this. See the cemetery back there. It's a jail cell right there with the toilet in it. He said he's been working on this since 1989.
Look at all them bees. Look at them hands. Look at that hand all around them bees. That's something else. That's something else. You know that old trolley horse? The one they have at the Kentucky Derby?
Yeah.
There he is right there. At the head of there. Most of these houses you see right here were built off old used lumber.
Yeah.
Railroad, car box, everything. So it's a story in everything. And the biggest thing about us is this right here. We ain't appreciate ourselves yet. You know, pat your own self on the back. We ain't did that yet.
Yeah.
That's what the problem is. We did everything but that. All my thoughts and all my things that I do come right out of what they want to say and how they want to say it, and lead me into being able to be trusted by the ancestors. You know, it's something else to be trusted by the ancestors now, because that's the supreme high. And it ain't nothing more better than let the ancestors rock you to sleep. I got 100,000 of them put me to sleep every night. See, what you got to always remember is, you don't know what a miracle looks like. That's a miracle here.
Yeah.
See what that says? Africa village, just a celebration, just like you celebrate anniversary. 1989 and 2021. That's a tribute to my wife right there. Look at that. That's Miss Healer right there.
Right here.
I got her so tall, she stretched to the sky, but she was one of a kind. You don't get, you know how they say dream come true?
Yeah.
Well, she was just as sweet as she, and look at it. That's what I was discussing. That's that big ball right there, made out of old hot water tank. Thank you, God, for the Holy Ghost. Faith and vision and dream. In 1989 to be a weapon in this vineyard built by your hand, my Lord, thy God, in love and peace to open thy
children.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mariah more down, so I took that more out there and tried to get it running. It cut pretty good, but it's hard to push. So I had another, it don't cut low enough, so I cut this little spot here today. And it'll let you walk in there so you maneuver through here. DAV, disabled veteran. You know what, hey, old veteran don't forget how he got there. Wounded warrior. See, we don't forget the warrior that went forth and got their leg blowed off their whole life chain and nobody cared nothing about it. After this and door touching their house. Hey, that's that beat. Look at it, hey, look at it. Made out of a bed, made out of an air conditioning door where you can't steal the air conditioning. His legs is them old drain pipe. You know, all this is 911 from that end where the fireman was killed all the way around there, all the way up to that. That's the mailbox. You open up, you got your pipe bomb in there. Might have you some more anthrax.
Oh yeah.
You know. Never forget the mailbox.
That's Jesus' face
Look
there.
at his head.
Yeah, you see the crown of thorns.
See that head, baby? You see it? You see that
I do.
thorn on that head?
Yeah.
This is called from the iron wheel to the rubber heel, rubber to the rubber, from the iron to the rubber wheel. That's a Zulu warrior right there now. I got him in a certain spot. My dad was in World War I, went to France, helped liberate France, and when he come back, all this metal was stripped off of us. Then they went to the buttons on his uniform and pulled that off. He had to get back in line. He died in '59. We moved here in '70. About 10 years later, this is the one that God give me. What they say, helpmate.
Yeah.
He went above and beyond, keeping them off of me. The hot grits in there, butcher knives and the ice picks and all that. And she loved, and everybody loved her. Well, Healer was a sweet couple. An angel straight from God to me. Thank Jesus. You see that?
Yeah.
50 years, that's how long we married. The important thing about marriage is this, the contact that you make. See, when folks talk about, I'm quitting you and I don't want you no more, I'm going to divorce you. They need to read this one more time before they do that, because this is a sacred thing. In sickness and in health, to death do us part. That thing is cutting up. She will love, okay. She will love, I'm writing a resume for my husband. She will love, she cared, and understand. That was her character. She was 75 years old. She loved all. My helpmate loved our father and little Joe. That was my two boys. I love my healer. She loved me. See this here. Healer calling, come home, Joe. In Jesus. Into Jesus. Ancestor, let that cool breeze just.
Yeah.
You feel that thing? That
I feel
thing
it.
Feel like we sitting up in the air conditioned movie house somewhere. Sit up in the old movie house. They can't keep up with these things. That old piece of tin hanging up in there. Sit right here over there, because you don't sit there. Try that old way now. I don't know how the Africa constructed his building, but I think it might be like this. I don't know. That's them families, but here's a preacher over here. That's the country preacher. It's called Willie Fly. That's he is right there. That's made in Birmingham, Alabama. That Willie Fly. Check it out there. That's she ready.
Oh yeah.
That's a 2-cycle engine I got up there. Get in a position where you can see yourself in that mirror there. Can you see yourself?
I can.
Got the grill looking at you, he'll tell you which way to go. And that's a bigger. How did I drag all of this iron here? I got some iron over there too. How did I drag all this iron from way over there into here? That's just like the man down there built that coral reef down there in Florida. He had some slabs in there with, I mean,
Oh, the Coral Castle?
You have been traveling, ain't you?
I have. I've been there, yeah.
You have been traveling. You've been on the road. But see, now the thing about it is this. When you start doing something with it is, look like you get energy enough to ask God to help you, and you can do the impossible. It's just like you ask, you start working, and as you start working, what you're doing is building up confidence to be able to finish.
Oh, there we go.
I'm putting the finishing touches. This is all of me right here. You know, I got to give you all of me. Talking stick picked up
talking
on
stick?
the side of a pile. Me and my wife passed by it. I throw it back there, go and say, cut it down, make you a talking stick. 2000. This stick is 20 years old.
Really?
This is what we throw away. We got messages and stuff and all this. It's a storytelling stick. See, when I pass, you don't see me say like, oh, can't see him because he's black and he's African. I won't see him, but listen.
So an absolute amazing folk art environment there, the African American Village in Birmingham. And thank you so much to Joe for giving me a tour of the property. I really love this type of environment where, you know, an artist has so much passion, so much desire to create, to express their worldviews, to express their beliefs, and kind of create this own environment at their own home that they live and work in. I think it's just very, very inspiring. And Joe had talked about how he wanted, he's in his 80s now. He's been working since 1989, creating and building things for the African American village, all out of found items. It says that neighbors throw things out and he picks them up and incorporates them into the artwork. But he talked about how he wanted to have it preserved after he is gone. He said that some people from the University of Alabama have come out and looked at the property and may be able to, I don't know if they can preserve the whole thing, but they've talked about preserving portions of it. But again, I appreciate him giving me that tour, talking to me about his beliefs and the things that inspire him. So amazing tour. But before we leave Birmingham here, I did want to go check out something else. Something I do like to check in on anytime I am in Birmingham. You can see here, top of Red Mountain, the highest point in Birmingham, we have Vulcan, the Roman god of fire, there on his pedestal. One of the most iconic spots in all of Birmingham. You can see, as we approach from this direction, you can clearly see his naked rear there. So yeah, a naked Roman god on the highest point in Birmingham. You can see him from almost anywhere in the city. And down here, under Vulcan, we have a little miniature Vulcan, and you see it's very, very interesting how he's painted the different colors there. This particular Vulcan here is called Eyes Over Birmingham. This is from the Eyesight Foundation of Alabama. Apparently it's part of the Vulcans on Parade, so like a community art project where different businesses paint a single statue. So here in Birmingham, they've painted different versions of Vulcan. So I'm not sure if there's any others in this park, but I guess they're spread out through Birmingham. I may have to track down the rest of the Vulcans on Parade at some point. You can see, I guess this is an eye-themed one. It's from the Eyesight Foundation, so it has an eye chart there on his apron, an eyeball there by his anvil. Very interesting. You can see Vulcan towering on his tower there, holding his spear aloft. It's actually difficult almost to get a good look at Vulcan here from the ground, but you can see him all across Birmingham. A view here from the top of the mountain. As I said, you pretty much see the entirety of downtown Birmingham out that way. See the man Vulcan there towering above us. Like many great city icons, Vulcan started at a World's Fair, the 1904 St. Louis World Fair. He was forged here in the city of Birmingham. They created the mold to create the statue here at the Sloss Furnace, the major economic center point of Birmingham, Alabama, and brought him to the 1904 St. Louis World Fair, where he was shown off. And it was actually, the city wanted to keep Vulcan. They turned down offers from other places that wanted to purchase him, and they decided that he was going to come back and live full-time in Birmingham. They did, however, have a hard time, and they had a hard time finding where to put him. And the reason was because he was naked, and people had issues with a giant naked man being in Birmingham, Alabama in 1904. Supposedly there was supposed to be a housing development centered around Vulcan. That got vetoed because people didn't want to live under his giant naked butt. So if he was sent off to the fairgrounds, they apparently painted a pair of overalls on him to hide his nudeness from the people of Birmingham. But over time, people grew fond of Vulcan. He became a real icon here in the city, and he was brought back to Birmingham, put on this tower, and opened as a tourist attraction. Now, they have done renovations on him. I think in 2004 he was taken down off the pedestal, refurbished, and then put back up there. Now they're currently going through another refurbishment right now as we speak. Normally you can go, there's an elevator behind this tower where you can go up to the top, to the observation tower right underneath Vulcan and look out onto the city. Sadly, that is closed. The observation tower is closed, so we're not gonna be able to go up there today. I will, however, try to make a return once it is open again to get back to the top of Vulcan. And Vulcan, you know, he holds a very special place in my heart. My very first solo road trip that I took, I drove. I was a man possessed. There was so much in this country I hadn't seen, so much I wanted to see. I drove out. First day, I think I drove from my home in North Carolina to St. Louis, filming all along the way. Ended up driving all the way out to Amarillo, Texas from there. We were stopping in Branson, just trying to hit as many things as possible, to hit as many roadside attractions as possible. And my final stop before I raced home was here in Birmingham at Vulcan. I remember sitting on top of that tower, just processing all the things that I had seen, all the roadside attractions I had crammed in a week. An absolute flurry through my brain. I remember sitting up there brain dead, overlooking the city of Birmingham and just kind of absorbing that trip. It was the beginning. It was the beginning. As I sat there on top of Vulcan, it was the beginning of a new age in my life and for this channel. But like I said, that tower's closed, but they actually do have the museum open. They have a Vulcan museum next door, so we will walk over there and check that out. You can tell some construction's going on. They have that yellow rope around the base. Some of these wires tied up here. Again, not 100% sure what all they're doing. I think they did repair the statue. I don't believe they took him down this time. But yeah, he's old. He's from 1904, so he does require maintenance. And apparently the tower itself requires maintenance as well. So hopefully it won't be too long that the tower is down. You can see there, that's the elevator right there that takes you up to the tower. It's a nice little observation deck up there. It's really beautiful, especially at night, to be able to view the city of Birmingham from atop of Vulcan. But let's step into the Vulcan Center here. As we enter the building here, this is the materials of success. They're different items created of iron here in the city of Birmingham. See the fire hydrant there. Sewing machine, an old radiator, stove there. You can see the manhole cover. And we enter the exhibit through here, and we start out with steelwork, the foundation of Birmingham. There's some different workers and their personal accounts. You have James Perdue, who's a Boilermaker. John Knox here is a convict laborer, so he has no choice. He has to be doing this. This Will Battle, the scale car operator, and Clyde Love, a good old-fashioned miner. It's the ingredients for iron here. You have iron ore, limestone, coal, coke, and then you get a luscious pile of pig iron. There's the Vulcan Commissary. This is the company store for the miners. So yeah, the mine that you work for would also own a store that was the only store you would shop at, so they would get all their money back from you. Sometimes they would even pay you in currency that can only be used at the company store. Some things there. They have some Octagon soap, pipes, hairbrushes. After a hard day working in the mine, sit down to a nice, delicious bowl of triple succotash. There's a model of Vulcan, so we kind of get a better look at the statue. Like I said, it's really hard to see him from in a lot of detail from below. You kind of get a distorted view. So I'm gonna take a look at Vulcan. He is he's naked, but he does wear an apron, so that protects his modesty in the front, holding his spear up in the air. He's got his anvil there, where he's presumably forging that spear. Yeah, but that apron offers about as much coverage as a hospital gown. Now, it does appear in this miniature they've eliminated his butt crack to make it a slightly less obscene. And Vulcan, deceptively enormous. You can see the giant foot there, actually remarkably huge. You really can't tell just how massive he is. Look at that, my hand fits inside his toenail. If you can see there just how big his foot is. I don't even come up to his knee. I'm up to about right there. So again, to give some perspective, if I were standing up there with Vulcan, I would only be about that tall. So I'd be about as tall as my miniature from Little Canada right there. It talks about the creation of the Vulcan statue. It says that they sold these little miniature Vulcans around Birmingham to help raise money to build the big one. So here's the creation of Vulcan here. They would have taken a clay model, made a plaster mold. From that mold, made a plaster cast. From the plaster cast, made a sand mold. And from the sand mold, made an iron casting. So in order to make one Vulcan head, it takes three Vulcan heads before you finally reach the final Vulcan head. Build Vulcan yourself. Now normally that would be very hard to build a Vulcan from scratch. It looks like someone has already done most of the work here for me, so we can put them together here relatively quick. What's that? That's his, oh, okay. That is his anvil there. And is this his shoulder? There we go. What's this? Is that his arm? All right, perfect. Memories of Vulcan. You have the different merchandise with Vulcan on it. You can see some of these patches here. Birmingham Fire and Rescue Services had Vulcan on them. Little statues and coins there. These postcards, like the pennant there. Vulcan Park. Look at all these little Vulcans there. I do love of course, love the snow globe. Now there was a period of time where instead of his spear, he held this torch here, this glowing green torch. This was attached to Vulcan in 1946, and it would glow green so people all around the city could see the green glow. But whenever there was a traffic fatality, it would turn red for 24 hours, just letting everyone know that someone had died in a traffic fatality. So a constant reminder of death happening out there on the highways. Uh-oh, what's happening here? Halting industry. Oh no, looks like we're going through some hard times. Hard times come first and stay the longest. Talking here about Alabama after World War II, where there was outbreak of racially motivated crimes. Alabama kind of the hotbed of the civil rights movement. Here's the anvil, the gift shop here at Vulcan Park. You can buy all sorts of merchandise with Vulcan. You can see the Vulcan bobblehead there. I really love this gift shop. There's just some amazing Vulcan related merchandise. You have the Vulcan Christmas ornament there. Some of these coffee cups. It says moon over Birmingham, but as you see, they're referring to both the actual moon and the moon that is Vulcan's naked butt. And here's that Vulcan bobblehead, and this is a very unique bobblehead because not only does his head bobble there, you can see it bobbles his head, but if you turn him around, his butt bobbles as well. His butt bobbles. Let me see, there's another statuette there. His butt does not bobble. Neither does his head though. And here is the Vulcan bobblehead at the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I've actually been there. Oh, look at this string doll there. They even have a string doll of Vulcan. You see his mustache there. Oh, it's so much fun. Just looking at some shirts here, and I do appreciate this. It's for Birmingham. It's B-ham. See, it's a B, and then it's like a picture of a ham. Yeah, I really love the merchandising here for Vulcan. There's a little cuddly, plushy Vulcan there. Oh my goodness. Some keychains here, and I was actually wondering about these collectible spoons. I remember I had a friend whose mom collected these spoons for the different places they went. I wasn't sure if they still sold souvenir spoons, but they do here at the Vulcan gift shop, the Anvil. And I'm not sure how these work. The hiking metal. Do you like attach that to your walking stick maybe? So yeah, whenever I'm here in Birmingham, definitely love to stop and say hello to Vulcan here at Vulcan Park. Like I said, I kind of consider him to be part of my journey, part of the journey of this channel. It's where my very first solo road trip ended after I got up on top of Vulcan here. It was dark, showed up here dark, right before closing, climbed up to the top, looked out on the city of Alabama. And like I said, I was so tired, I was in a haze. To save money on that trip, I tried only renting a hotel room every other night. Not wise, but I was so exhausted. Dying to get home. Not dying to get home, but had to get home. And was up there just staring out at the beauty of the glowing city of Alabama at night. And I still remember that. As the cap off to my first solo journey. The first of which become many, which has evolved into just a non-stop solo journey that never seems to end. But anyways, I am trying to collect some fun and interesting things for the bunker. So I just had to purchase the bobblehead Vulcan. It says Vulcan bobblehead on the front. On the back it says Vulcan bobble buns. The lady at the gift shop said this is their biggest seller at the gift shop of all the things they sell. They sell these Vulcan bobbleheads. We'll do a little unboxing here. Okay. There he is. So yeah, we got Vulcan bobbles his head, sits above the great city of Birmingham, Alabama. He wiggles his head and then turns around and he wiggles his butt. It's hypnotizing. Anyways, thank you so much from the Carpetbagger and from Vulcan here. By the way, it was $4 to get into the museum. It's normally $6, but they knocked off $2 because the observation tower was closed. This was, I think, $19 for the Vulcan bobblehead, which is actually honestly pretty cheap for a bobblehead. Bobbleheads can be a little pricey, you'd be surprised. But I actually have a collection of bobbleheads of the different muffler men that have had bobbleheads made out of them. So I also have the golden oil driller, so it kind of fits into the collection of giant bobbleheads that I have. But thank you so much for joining me today as we visit Vulcan Park and the African American Village here in Birmingham. If you like these videos, please subscribe. I travel around the country. I film roadside attractions, amusement parks, museums, haunted houses, and statues with naked butts. If you'd like to support the channel, consider donating to Patreon. $3 or more will get you a postcard once a month from me to you. Also selling enamel pins in the Etsy shop and doing personalized messages from on Cameo. I'll do birthday messages, anniversary messages, special occasions, just for fun. Although I will not wiggle my butt for money. I just won't. And of course, all that helps keep this train on the track, this boat in the water, and this naked man high up in the air. Till next time, my friends, this one's in the bag.